It appears that Manchester United players aren't just bullied on the pitch these days. As they were crashing out of the Champions League at the hands of Atletico Madrid, Paul Pogba had his house robbed while his family was still there. A few months ago, Victor Lindelof went through the same ordeal, and a few years before that, Angel Di Maria had his house robbed as well. Meanwhile, Barcelona have announced a big money deal with music streaming giant Spotify. The move will see Camp Nou rebranded, but will make the Catalan giants a little richer than they are right now. Following a humiliating defeat at the hands of Villarreal, Juventus are going to have a proper facelift, and the degreasing operation has already begun. PSG's senior team crashed out of the Champions League, and the under-19s followed them as well. And it appears that Johan Cabaye, who is the sports coordinator of the club's training centre these days, says that only those players who understand what it means to represent the club will have a future at the academy. Spain has a new star who plays for Villarreal, and we really need to talk about him. So, you know the drill. Let's go! Revelation of last season with Villarreal, with whom he won the Europa League, Jeremy Pino is entering a confirmation phase with the Yellow Submarine. A recent Spanish international, he shows that he already has everything a great player needs. Making history is naturally a dream for many footballers, and Jeremy Pino has set high standards to achieve it. On Sunday, February 27, he probably performed his most impressive performance in the Villarreal jersey. When he was only 19 years and 130 days old, the Spanish winger put Espanyol through a real ordeal in a 5-1 win, becoming the youngest Villarreal player to score a brace with a header and a strike from the left. He finished his hat-trick before the break. In the second half, he scored a fourth goal to complete a memorable performance. In doing so, he became the youngest player to score a quadruple in La Liga. The performance only confirmed the youngster's rise in the last few months. Signed from Las Palmas in 2016, Pino could have joined Barcelona, but decided to test himself out with the residents of El Madrigal. He was thrown in the deep end by Unai Emery, and since then has flourished for the Spanish side. And against Juventus on Wednesday, the youngster was in fine form once again. The game took place in Turin, where the Bianconeri hadn't lost for ages. However, the Yellow Submarine and their rising star had other plans. 3 goals in 14 minutes turned the tie on its head as the Spaniards sealed a place in the next round of the competition. For Pino, this was yet another scalp as the young winger looks to carry on with his rapid ascent in European football. A week after the first team, the Paris Saint-Germain under-19s were also eliminated from their Champions League, the Youth League. Beaten 3-1 in the quarters by Salzburg, when they had opened the scoring in the first minute of play, the Ile-de-France Giants experienced a new disappointment. Passed into a new dimension since the arrival of QSI, the capital club is struggling to see its young players triumph, a subject which has become, by force of circumstance, a sensitive one. In addition to the field, the young Parisian starlets are indeed also talking behind the scenes. For several years, many of them have not hesitated to leave PSG even before signing a professional contract. The examples are numerous, and one of the reasons given is often the same: a promise of playing time in the first team, which is not kept. Lately, the rumours around Xavi Simons, Edouard Michut, or El Shaddai Bichabou perfectly illustrate these concerns. In addition, seeing players such as Moussa Diaby and Christopher Nkunku shine in the Bundesliga, PSG hopefuls are logically tempted to leave. However, the club is now looking to reverse the trend. While speaking to L'Équipe, former France international Johan Cabaye spoke about the objective of the training centre. However, in a world of football where young players are increasingly keen to take their first steps in the pros, PSG cannot promise mountains and wonders due to their large squad. Some, like Tanguy Kouassi or Adil Aouchiche, still prefer to look elsewhere. But Kouassi's failure at Bayern Munich still allows the PSG leaders to prove to their flock that too much haste can harm the development of a career. What I try to tell them is not to put the cart before the horse. If the player is good on the field, the rest will come. You talk about financial pressure, it must not be the number one criterion, otherwise there is a problem. Finally, playing at PSG also means respecting a code. We can't afford to do anything when we wear the PSG jersey, and whoever doesn't understand that makes a mistake and excludes himself. No matter the player, no matter the match, if he deviates from these rules, he will not play. If the player does not understand that for his entire life he has to change his behaviour, he can go anywhere, he will always have problems. Cabaye has a point here. Following a 3-0 defeat at home to Villarreal, Juventus miss out on going deep in the Champions League once again. The Bianconeri have had a season to forget. They made a horrible start to the campaign and they're currently in 4th place in the league standings. Ahead of the game against Unai Emery's side, the Old Lady were in fine form and had not lost a single game all year long. However, the defeat at home serves as proof that this Juventus team is far from the all-conquering one it used to be during Max Allegri's first stint in Turin. Several players are likely to leave in the summer. The likes of Juan Cuadrado, Mattia Peri, Mattia De Silio, Federico Chiesa, Paulo Dybala and Federico Bernardeschi are set to enter free agency in June. While Juve wanted to extend Dybala's contract, it might be very difficult, since the forward has a lot of options on the table. It will also be necessary to manage the case of Alvaro Morata on loan from Atletico. Juventus want to pursue with him, but they want to lower the price of his purchase option to an amount between 15 and 20 million euros, knowing that the Colchoneros demanded 35 million euros. The Italian leaders will also look into the files of free players in a year, that is, in June 2023. This will be the case for Giorgio Chiellini, who will be 38 years old in August. Alex Sandro or even Adrien Rabiot will be in this case. According to the Italian press, the Old Lady would not be against stopping their relationship with the Frenchman. While some departures could occur, residents of Juventus Stadium are also on the lookout to strengthen and give a new face to an aging team. As a goalkeeper, Juve would think of repatriating Gianluigi Donnarumma, struggling at PSG, according to Gazzetta dello Sport. In defence, the names of Jason Denayer of Lyon and Antonio Rudiger of Chelsea, both out of contract, are cited. In midfield, the Bianconeri are still dreaming of a return of Paul Pogba, who will be free on June 30th, 2022. To strengthen their attacking sector, Juve have checked the names of Memphis Depay and Marco Asensio. This is a big blow made by FC Barcelona. Still in financial difficulties, the Catalan team has found a new main sponsor for the next 3 seasons. It is the music streaming giant Spotify, which will put its name on the jerseys of the men's and women's teams until 2026. The name of the Swedish company will replace that of Rakuten, present since 2017. Above all, Spotify will also be used for the naming of Camp Nou, a great first for Barca. The deal was made official earlier this week. FC Barcelona and Spotify have reached an agreement for the Swedish company to become the club's main partner and official audio streaming partner. The brand will appear on the front of both men's and women's team shirts from the 2022-23 season and for the next 4 seasons. Spotify will also sponsor training shirts from the 2022-23 season for the next 3 seasons. As part of the collaboration, for the very first time in the history of the club, the stadium will be renamed Spotify Camp Nou. While Rakuten brought in 55 million euros per season, plus bonuses of 1.5 million euros in the event of a victory in La Liga and 5 million euros for a success in the Champions League, Barca managed to find a much more profitable sponsor. Spotify has agreed to pay at least 280 million euros over the 4-year contract, or around 70 million euros per season. In addition to appearing on the jerseys and acquiring the naming rights to the stadium, the company will also be mentioned on the training equipment. So, are Barcelona rich once more? Manchester United had a night to forget at Old Trafford when Atletico Madrid came to visit. The Red Devils were dumped out by Diego Simeone's side and deserved to go out following a poor showing in the second half. And it appears that things couldn't have got worse for Paul Pogba, who found out after the game that his house was robbed while his family was watching him warm the bench in the living room. The Frenchman says that the thieves stayed in their home for less than 5 minutes, but in a short amount of time stole the sense of safety and security from his family. This isn't the first time a Manchester United player's house has been robbed. Earlier this season, Victor Lindelof experienced the same situation, and the Sweden international decided to take his family back home for a few days. Angel Di Maria also complained about the same issue during his first season at the club. Well, at least their families were safe and sound, and that's all that matters.